Thank you all for coming. I know you're all very busy. I know, so I'm going to try to get you in and out. It's so important that we do events like this. We work very hard in trying to get the word out that we're doing this. One of those ways that we do it is through the bag sponsors that you see behind us right now. They give us the ability, they purchase the bags for us, and then we get to deliver them. And as you can see, we're already collecting food. Andrea came in early, and I was showing the post office. There's another 100 buckets in there, and we haven't started yet. So that's what the bags do for us. In addition, Campbell Soup and some other sponsors sponsor a food drive card that we also get that out. So we're very grateful. Janine from the United Way had called me just asking for a comment because she sends out a press release. And it was just very easy to do because we're out in the community. You see us. We're out there 6 days a week, Sundays delivering parcels. The community is very important to us because we see it all the time. But all we're doing on this day, nothing extraordinary. We're just being a conduit for those who can help to assist those that need help. That's all it is. It's not a big thing, but that's all we're doing. So I wanted to introduce Julie Pereira. She's our food drive coordinator. New at this. I stayed to help her because actually she's expecting her first child, so we didn't want to overwhelm her. So that's why you have me today. But the other thing that we do is we love doing this, but we'll also take monetary donations. We have it's called the Steve Kafer Fund. We had a carrier who was a big proponent of the food drive who passed away on food drive weekend. He had a brain aneurysm. We actually buried him on food drive day. So we've done that. Not last year, the year before, I think, and it's just stuff that the carriers put money into, the carriers and clerks and the other postal employees. But we had raised $3,000. We were able to distribute that to a number of food banks, and our national union matched that. So we were able to put $6,000 towards the local food pantries. We service about 20 local food pantries. They come off and on. I do have a list of who we service if anyone wants it and what we've collected over the years. And just yesterday, I had another one come to the door yesterday asking if we could possibly get them food. It was a veterans group from Corky Row up on 3rd Street. So we have a new one that we have to add, so we'll add them. We'll somehow find ways to get them food. But with that, we are so grateful to the United Way for what they do for us. Rachel does a great job. She just says, what's the date? That's all I have to do. I just have to give her a date, and she organizes these sponsors for us who we're very grateful for. So with that, I'm going to have the United Way take over for me, and Meg from the United Way is going to talk.
Thank you, Paul. That's okay. Good morning, everyone. Kim Smith from the United Way of Greater Fall River. I'd like to just give Paul a round of applause. He's so humble in really his efforts on an annual basis, and truly as the point person, you have big shoes to fill. I'm sure you know that, but I'm sure you're going to do very well. Paul has been an amazing, just a proponent of this day, and truly we couldn't do it without our sponsors. So I wanted to just share with you the bag. Everybody knows the green bag by now, Stamp Out Hunger. It is a national campaign that is in partnership with United Ways across the country, as well as our national letter carriers, but we truly couldn't do it without our sponsors. And this year we have St. Anne's Hospital, Tracy Ibbotson representing St. Anne's Hospital. We have Bank 5, we have Andrea Rodericks from Bank 5, and Blount Seafood here at the top, Andrea Walker from Blount Seafood. These are 3 community partners that have really been strong proponents of food security and doing whatever it takes to make sure that our neighbors, our friends, our families are helped each and every day through food collection, food distribution, sponsorships, food drives. Blount has a little edge because they are in the food industry, but they are so generous with their food and their soups and the delicious entities that they're able to bring to us, and so we thank them. This is the card that Paul was also referencing. just to give a little bit of instruction to our families. We want to make sure that our food collection provides dignity to the families that are receiving our food. So it talks about making sure food is not expired and in good condition, boxes aren't broken and cracked, and things like that. So we're grateful. And at United Way, we're dedicated. We're dedicated to improving health, education, financial stability, and the basic needs of our community by harnessing the caring power of individuals, just like you, just like our sponsors, just like our postal carriers, who, no matter the weather, are there for you. And as a proud supporter of the National Association of Letter Carriers' annual Stamp Out Food Hunger Drive, we commit our focus to raising awareness around food insecurity and encouraging donations to support our local food pantries. And absolutely, we'll take on another. That's the Veteran Soup Kitchen on 3rd Street in the Corky Row neighborhood. So, of course, this Saturday, so we're just on the heels, or not on the heels, just about to embark on this Saturday, May 13th, very special day. Residents in Fall River and Somerset will participate in the National Stamp Out Hunger Drive by filling the green bags, biodegradable bags, by the way, that are delivered to their homes with non-perishable items. So you should have already gotten your bag. If you haven't received it yet, you can certainly reach out to your postal carrier. I'm sure they have some in the truck. Letter carriers throughout these communities will collect filled bags and redistribute them through their local post offices to the food pantries that we're partnering with. There are more than 1 in 5 adults that identify as food insecure in our local communities. And we, and certainly our postal carriers, can see that the need is great. They see it every day. So a warm meal helps to provide the foundation to move successfully throughout the day and overcome the challenges that are made difficult when they don't have critical nourishment, a basic need. As letter carriers travel throughout our communities daily, they become familiar with the faces of those experiencing food insecurity. They are the ambassadors at the forefront of making connections, just like Paul said, and their dedication to service forms a natural bridge for supporting this cause. By spearheading Stamp Out Hunger, letter carriers and community members work together. They work in tandem to fill food pantry shelves during a time when donations are typically lacking. This event plays a critical role in ensuring that local food pantries stay stocked and remain a viable resource for individuals and families. If I recall correctly, Paul, last year we collected 70,000 pounds of food through this one simple gesture. One day, folks taking items out of their cupboard or going and purchasing some things from their store while they're doing groceries and filling the bags. It has a huge impact, so we thank you for that. We want to again extend a huge thank you to this year's generous sponsors, Bank 5, Blount Fine Foods, and St. Anne's Hospital for their help in advancing this cause. Your support, their support, together our collective support strengthens the actions taken to overcome food scarcity seen in our neighborhoods. And we ask that residents continue to help support and fight to end hunger by participating in Stamp Out Hunger. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to our Mayor, Mayor Paul Coogan of this fine city of Fall River.
So it's always nice to come out and acknowledge the great work that the Postal Service does to help stamp out hunger in Fall River. They're a key piece of it, and it's a tradition that's gone on for a long time. So obviously, to acknowledge their great work, we developed a proclamation from the city, which I'll read, and I'll give to Paul. The National Association of Letter Carriers will sponsor a nationwide food drive on May 13th, 2023. And whereas the NALC program started in 1991 and has grown into the largest one-day food collection in our nation, and whereas in 2022, over 62,000 pounds of food in Fall River and Somerset community, and whereas the Fall River branch of 51 letter carriers has worked over the years to provide needed services to our community, helping to feed those in need, and whereas the City of Fall River is proud to recognize the significant and important contribution of the NALC Branch 51 to our community, therefore I, Paul Coogan, Mayor of the City of Fall River, Massachusetts, do hereby proclaim Saturday, May 13th as Letter Carriers Food Drive Day. And I do encourage all the residents of the community to participate in the food drive that Kim was nice enough to just explain from the United Way, who also does a great job on this. Witnessed by me, Paul Coogan, obviously. May 13th, pitch in and help. We'd really appreciate everyone supporting the people in Fall River that need extra help.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
And of course, it's not an event without the sponsors at Blount, St. Anne's, and Bank 5 that all pitch in together to make this viable and keep the community, another step to keeping the community fed, and I appreciate all your efforts. Thank you very, very much.
So once again, I really want to thank you all for coming. When I first came out, I didn't see our postmaster, Chuck Nassaso, so he's there right now. So I want to thank the post office for what they do. This is, they're under stress too. We have mail to deliver and everything else, but they're very good with us. The buckets that you see here, there's 20 there. Last year we filled 2,100. So they give us all the supplies we need. That day, whatever time it takes us, that's the time it takes us that day, because it's tough to deliver mail and pick up food, but the post office has been a great partner in this, so we appreciate them too. So with that, the weather looks very good the rest of the week. A little bit of rain Friday night, but I've been watching the forecast like for 3 weeks, and it's pretty much held up that Saturday's gonna be nice. So we urge everyone to participate, and they can also, if they're in an area that they prefer to bring it here, you can also bring it here. We have collection points at all the post offices throughout the city. With that, thank you all for coming, and thank you, and have a great summer.
Well, can I ask a quick question?
You sure can.
In terms of the letter carriers, the postal workers themselves that are out, do they get excited about this every year? And, you know, what's their reaction to this time of year? I'm sure they enjoy, you know, giving back in their small way, even if it's just collecting the cans.
Well, I don't want to do all the talking. I'm going to put Julie on the spot because she's just another carrier. But I'll let you talk to that because I know you're the one that's, you know.
Personally, it's my favorite work day of the year, and I know people do get really excited, especially the more food we collect, the more excited we get. And then at the end of the day, when we see all of the accumulation, it's heartwarming to see how many people are willing to give, and it really is touching.
Heavy lifting.
Different lens for that.
Right, a real big one.